Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Cup Duet Reviews. My name is Jillian Robinson. I am the Associate Artistic Producer here at Cup of Hemlock Theatre, which sounds so astute for this episode, Cup of Hemlock. We'll get to that in a moment. And today I have one of my absolute best friends, the bestest person in the world, actor, creator, all the things, Rachel Fisher. She has been on the Cup, but I think we deduced like 5 years ago at this point.
Yeah, a long time ago.
But she is here because she is going to be our dungeon master.
Dungeon
today,
master.
basically.
I wouldn't say I've never dungeon mastered, but I've never done that. But I've played lots of D&D and sewed hours of my life into Baldur's Gate 3. So
yeah. So Rachel and I are going to be chatting about Dungeons and Dragons, specifically the Role Players. That is a campaign installment that's happening at Comedy Bar Danforth. And basically, it's 12 sessions happening throughout the year 2025. There's 6 players, 1 campaign, and it is exactly what you think it is. It is like a live improvised role play of a D&D campaign. And it is starring some of the funniest comedians and stand-up folks that don our Toronto stages. Rachel and I just got back from the show and we hoot and hollered and sang as the goblins and what were they? Bugbears? Yeah, bugbears.
Bugbears, yeah.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. But so basically, how this works is, like I said, throughout all of 2025, this campaign meets once a month at Comedy Bar Danforth and creates a live show for folks to indulge in. A dungeon master is Chris Siddiqui, and then there are 3 players and 3 NPCs we'll get into as well. But there's upcoming sessions. So this episode is going to air and you are going to have the remaining months of 2025 to sit in and laugh and participate and maybe even roll to be a part of this campaign. It was super fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was so
fun. You have fun, yeah?
Yeah, I had a great time. I'm so glad you invited me to this. I took off work to go to this show.
Yes, you were the person to ask.
Yeah, as soon as you said D&D was involved, I just said, oh, well, I will be there.
Yeah, we love it.
B Square, yeah.
Yeah. So before we dive into the forests, let's do our icebreaker here at the Cup. Rachel, what is in your cup? What are you sipping on with us today?
I am sipping on a tea because it's the first really cool day of August. I am sipping a ashwagandha and chill tea that I found in my tea cupboard. And with a Doctor Who TARDIS tea steeper.
Nice.
And my cup says small sips, big dreams. And I just think it's great.
Obsessed.
Yeah. What's in your cup, Jillian?
I've made myself a little potion. I found a David's tea, from the holiday packages where you get the little circles each day, like an advent calendar.
I know those very well, yeah.
Yeah. So I had one called Glitter and Gold.
Ooh, that's
and
fun.
I put it in this mug that has a tree with gold leaves. So I thought it was kind of very D&D-esque.
Perfect.
And then I just wore this on one of our Fringe Roundup episodes, but it's the blanket parka that you actually gave me from your house from a hand-me-down selection. True. And I thought I'd bring out the shield ears. So we're very kind of cosplaying some vibes here for D&D.
I'm not. I'm wearing my pajamas.
Obsessed. I love it.
Well, not even my pajamas. I'm just wearing a t-shirt that I got from when I worked a dance competition with Sean Desmond, which was so random.
Yes.
So lovely. So lovely. But I have this massive shirt that I wear to bed all the time. It's great.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. You know what's funny, though, is both those costumes we've said, those could be strung into a D&D campaign. Why not? That's the beautiful thing about this game.
Sure.
The weird vibes can pop up all over. And let us just say today there were some lovely weird vibes that we'll get into.
Yeah.
So to kick it off, like I've already kind of said, it is a night of improv, walking through an episode of your standard D&D campaign, which... Mm-hmm. I guess those listening, Rachel, you being a bit more, well, not a bit more, very much more in the know of D&D than I am.
Mm-hmm.
How does like an episode of a campaign work normally? Do you want to maybe kind of like explain that for our guests?
Sure. I think they did a really good job of painting what that looks like. Especially because it's like you're meeting once a month all year. So much. And right at the beginning, there's usually a recap where everybody has to be reminded what all the details were of the last campaign or the last session. And I loved how honest they were being like, I don't remember what happened. But usually there's some awesome person who takes notes. That's not me when I play D&D. I try to take notes, and usually it's just one word or a scribble. And then I go back and go, I don't know what that is. So I thought that was pretty accurate. So usually you start with a recap. We were jumping in to a campaign already. So this wasn't the first episode or first session of their D&D campaign, which I was surprised because I only knew that you told me that it was a D&D roleplay improv show, which already is right up my alley. But I thought it was going to be, we were going to do like a one shot, but no one shot lasts an hour and a half. If you've ever played D&D, there's no way a one shot ever lasts that short of a time. I'm not being very succinct.
That's okay. No, you're getting it.
So there's usually if you're in the middle of the campaign, there's usually a recap at the beginning, and then basically like it's a fade in on what's happening now, and then you progress going forward. And there's some story elements, and then there's some combat elements that's decided by dice. And that's pretty much exactly what they did. I really loved the audience interaction they had. So for instance, they had 3 people on the side who were playing NPCs, which are non-player characters, which were then like acting out scenes on stage or contributing to audience callouts. And then we as an audience played a role. We were like this group of massive goblins and bugbears. And there were dice strategically placed throughout the venue. And whenever there was something that our group was involved in deciding, so for instance, when the bard and the wizard were performing a song, we all had to roll, and based on our roll collectively, that would determine whether or not we as a group were like, yeah, that was a great song, or that was terrible. And that's pretty much what the DM or Tale Weaver, however you want to choose to title the Story Weaver, gets to do behind that screen is usually they're rolling for the NPCs. So we just kind of took on that role. Yeah, it was super fun. Yeah.
And then we had our 3 players, which obviously like campaigns can have up to as many players as you really want, right?
My longest running one, we play with 3 because the biggest enemy to D&D is scheduling. So trying to schedule larger. You and I played a D&D campaign together, and there was 8 of us.
Yes,
I want to say, and that was so chaotic. And that was supposed to be a 3-hour one shot, which turned into 2 days. So,
fair.
But I thought Andy Hall, Sarah Hillier, and Sarji Razul did a great job. They were so fun. I did feel a little lost at the beginning, where I was like, "Oh, is this gonna be hard to catch up on?" But as soon as they started, then I was invested in what was going to happen next. I felt like they did a really good job. So if anybody's afraid of kind of coming to see the show because they thought they think that they'll be at sea, you kind of won't be. You might be at the beginning a little bit as you're getting caught up, but then you'll jump in and go, "Oh wait, what's going to happen next?" And it was super fun.
Totally.
They did a great job of that.
Yeah, just to piggyback on your general appraisal too, I think, and this episode, Rachel and I have decided we're not going to do a spoiler shield for, because this is a 12 session one-off. You're never going to see this particular episode again.
And any info that we say during this
very true
podcast about what happened is going to give you context for the next episode.
Yes, which you can tune into on September 30th at 8:30 p.m. the main stage at Comedy Bar Danforth. At the end of the episode, we'll pop all the info below. But to piggyback off your general appraisal, yeah, I thought all of our performers and the improvising like chemistry, not only between the 3 players and our dungeon master, but with the NPCs as well. Like everything was so cohesive. And then added to it, the lights and the soundscape.
Yes.
Astonishing. Like the lighting was, and then we also had a live pianist like playing the sort of undercurrent music, which the campaign that you and I played, Rachel, and I feel like this is common for D&Ds to have like the dungeon master will have like a basically like ambient music playing throughout to kind of create this vibe and to kind of help sew us into scene. And we had like a live pianist throughout the whole piece doing that for us. Super dope.
And also in the lobby, to get you all hyped up for the show, they started playing tavern music, which included a lot of the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack from the 3rd movie, I must say, and I respected that immensely. Because that's one of my favorite movies. Amazing. And then How to Train Your Dragon right next. So it was great. And also had pictures projected on a screen of the location of where the characters were at, which was super helpful as well.
Super cool. Yeah. Yeah, it was like a little added, like definitely the theatrical elements added the magic pop that surrounds what D&D could be for sure.
But that's pretty much like every D&D campaign I've been a part of. There's usually... You have to have some kind of image in front of you to show everybody where they're going. Some DMs have had like full maps and full like drawings. And my friend has this massive collection of figurines that you can like pick your character and all that stuff. So, you know, people go hard. Yeah. I love it. I love it so much. It makes me so happy because it's just like playing math dolls. I don't know.
No, totally. And you know what's great too? To add to, like we said, we talked about like the lights, the soundscape. There was also like a lovely selection at the back of the stage of like costume pieces or props that like Lisa Merchant, one of our NPCs, like grabbed.
I do wish they used them more, though. I have to say. That was fair. One thing that was bothering me. I was like, come on, put some costumes on.
True.
I was like, there were so many fabulous wigs. I just wanted to see people wear them. Because my biggest thing is whenever there's a show, if there's a prop, please use it. If you put it on stage, please use the thing. Please use the thing.
Fair.
They didn't have to. Yeah. Anyways, I was just hoping. I wanted to see someone in that red wig.
I know there were a lot of pieces, that could have been played with for sure. Okay, so particularly, I guess let's dive into this episode. So, like we've talked about, there's the theatrical elements that kind of elevated everything, but then, which was cool about this particular episode, is they did something that I learned today, I guess, is normally taboo, where you split the party. One scene's happening and the other scene's happening, and the characters are playing them out as if it's happening at the same time, but different locations.
You can do it. You can do it if you really want to.
So you might get bit in the butt.
Yeah. You might get bit in the butt because, combat might start for one person and then all of a sudden nobody's there to back you up.
Yeah.
Or one person might get into trouble and nobody else knows, but it sucks for the players because the meta aspect is that like you as people know that this one character's in trouble, but the characters themselves can't do anything about it because they're in a completely different room. So it's like never split the party because it causes issues, but that doesn't mean it can't be exciting.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say, as a live viewing of this episode, it worked super really well cool to go back and forth. And then within one of them, we got multiple genres of different theatrical pops. We had like improv, song, stand up. So let's kind of talk about it. So we had
for sure
Andy Hull, Sarah Hellier, and Sargil Rasool, who were our 3 characters. Sargil was Hagasis, I believe is the character's name.
Yeah, Hagasis, Sylvia, and I'm going to forget the barbarian's name. But basically we had a barbarian, wild magic barbarian. Sorry, I don't mean to yell. Pardon me, guys.
That's fine.
A wild magic barbarian, a wizard, and a bard.
Yes.
A bard.
Okay.
So at first when they started playing. Oh, you know what, Jill?
Yeah.
How are you doing? Because I was whispering in your ear in a couple things, but like, how are you doing understanding it as like a novice to?
Okay, yeah. Like, yeah, I can kind of just map out the storyline or what they kind of jumped into.
Yeah.
So after the synopsis that you said that basically happens when you come meet back with your campaign troops.
Yeah.
The three characters entered this forest, correct? And they came upon a crusty castle.
Yeah, which they emphasized was very crusty.
Very crusty.
Very crusty.
And then what happens from there is they split the party, and Sylvia and Hagasis were left in the front of the castle to distract the band or mob of goblins and bugbears that were hanging out outside.
Yes, and the barbarian was tasked with a rogue mission, essentially, and was given a potion of invisibility, and his job was to sneak into the crusty castle.
Yes. So how this particular night's show went was we had a scene where the barbarian was rolling and fighting two of our NPCs, taking on monsters, basically.
A doppelganger and a bugbear.
Thank you. And then the other selection of scenes were Sylvia and Hagasis going through a whole slew of comedic events to distract this mob of goblins and bugbears.
Yeah.
So the dungeon master did a really good job of sort of tagging us back and forth between these scenes.
Yeah.
And yeah, so which was cool. Okay, so as the novice, it was cool for me to see how this all goes out because I also watched Vox Machina, thanks to Rachel.
Yeah.
So I know the intensity and like fantasy that is D&D, which I love. It's like it definitely scratches my itch of like Game of Thrones, like it gets me there. But also I love the like comedic, sexy, weird, almost like nerd, like either like nerd comedy or nerd
almost nerd
vibes.
100% nerd.
But like
100%
it can get very layered with like high comedy and like high sexuality. Like you can go down so many rabbit holes, and that's what makes, in my opinion, D&D super cool. So what was cool about this installment and having split the party, I feel like through the barbarian fighting our doppelganger and bugbear, I got to see in real time how it's like to, okay, if you want to hit them, you have to roll for this, or like checking your stats on these certain things. So it allowed me to kind of be like, okay, now I'm kind of like, I'm watching how the game rolling for different like advancements or like advantages or disadvantages of the game work.
Yeah.
And then through the other cut to scenes of the other two distracting the goblins and monsters, that's where I also saw the like comedy, the like improvisational skills that pepper into D&D. Again, Sarah and Sergio, like they brought us through, they did like an improvised song together. Yep. They did a whole improvised scene. They did some stand-up. And then again, like Rachel said, we were all acting as the mob of goblins and bugbears. So we got to contribute to that experience. So that was super fun too. So I think it was a perfect blend of like, okay, I'm focused. I've got my like nerdy pen. This is how you play D&D.
Yeah.
But then the hilarity and the laughter and the like, oh, and this is also how you make it. I feel like that's why actors love playing this game, because
it's so fun. And especially if you love improv too. And I thought it was such a good blend of improv and D&D. They just said, because I think what I love about improv is that there's that spontaneity, and there's a large sense of play. But oftentimes when you're watching just improv, egos kind of get in the way and you get lost. Nobody's listening to each other, and everybody's trying to just come up with the next funniest thing to say. Whereas obviously on stage we had some really skilled improvisers, and that was strengthened by D&D, because like there was a wicked callback at the end that had me cackling with the lips shorn off. I thought it was so funny.
Yes.
Like, one of the biggest gags was that Haggison had never been kissed. So the NPCs, the like Aurora Brown, Lisa Merchant, Paul Bates, were just yelling, "Kiss her! Kiss her!" Which at first I was like, I don't like this. This is weird because I wouldn't want to be put in this situation. But obviously there was like some dialogues that happened. They were like, whatever, this is so funny. So they did it. And then it just became this huge bit throughout the whole piece. And there was a wicked callback at the end. Yeah. So kind of coming back to the whole circle of improv, there's a lot of room for improv in D&D, but you have this anchor. You have this storyline anchor that requires everyone to kind of hold themselves to task and make sure that they're still serving a story and serving their character. So it all fits so well together. Yeah. And I was worried at one point at the beginning where I'm like, oh, is this going to get too jokey? Because at the beginning, which like, obviously I want it to be hilarious. We're a comedy bar. Okay. Yeah. Like jokes are allowed. I'm not saying like too jokey, but like, I didn't want kind of the D&D aspect to really get lost because they weren't really rolling dice too much at the beginning. But then it started to be included more and more and more. And I just felt like the whole experience just kind of finally came together towards like after they'd warmed up a little bit, and it felt so good. And it felt like a session. It really did feel like a session, and that we were part of the session. And even also the thing I loved too was that there were people who had been to the show before. Yeah. And they're like, they were sitting at the front or like in the middle, and they were like reminding the players, no, it's this. No, it's this. No, it's this. And they like, and I just really loved that community aspect about it. Mm-hmm. Totally. Like, we have to stay true to the story, guys. Come on. Like, this is what you said. This is what happened. And I think that's so, like, if you watch Critical Role, which is where the Legend of Vox Machina comes from. You will have people on the stream watching, and like Laura Bailey, this is for all the people who watch D&D and play D&D and know Critical Role, but like Laura Bailey will forget where she put something, and somebody will be like, you put it here. Like, yeah. Care, right? Yeah. And that's the truth about storytelling, is people care. And with D&D, it's so easy to get invested because the stakes get so high out of nowhere, because truly the actions are determined by the dice. Yeah. And I think that's my favorite part.
One of my favorite moments today is when the barbarian character was like, I'm going to rage. And I was just like, oh, yeah. Okay. Because even just watching Vox Machina, I was like, oh, because I love that. Yes. And you could feel it, though. You could see it. And like, they're like, okay. And everyone else, again, the pulse in the room changed. People are like, okay, let's go. Yeah. Yeah, it really was a fantastic show. Like, and it was so we fun. Talked about, definitely does due diligence to what D&D is, grabbing a whole gang together, putting forth a campaign, but then also literally it's set on the stage at Comedy Bar. So there was like an elevation of like, because obviously like every D&D campaign in everyday life, it isn't always going to have like the theatricality tied to this one. Like a lot of folks just sit around the table and like talk it out, and it's storytelling. Yeah. But I don't know about some people get into it.
Well, the only ones that have been lower key for me are the ones I've played on my desktop with some friends. Yeah. And that like is because when you're not in the room with people, it just changes the game. Like everybody who plays D&D will tell you, you want to play in person. You can play online and it's a good time for sure, but playing in person, there's just something different about it. Yeah. It's delicious. People bring snacks. You always have wine or tea or whatever. Like it's just a cozier experience. And man, like the amount of fist pumps in the air and like accidental fights that you just get into with your friends in good humor. It's just a different experience. It was so fun. It was so fun.
So cool. I want to catch the rest of this campaign now. Like I
do too. I do too.
You might see Rachel and I at the September 30th show.
I kind of do too. Cause like, anybody who plays D&D knows how hard it is to schedule the D&D sessions. So when you're going so long, like I think my longest campaign we haven't played for, I want to say like 4 or 5 months. Like it's been a while. And it was getting so juicy. You need something to fill the void. Fill the void. You do.
Yeah.
So good.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll see if we catch the rest of this campaign, and then I'm sure you'd be on board. We could pop out an episode after every episode and like unpack and have this be
fun.
some side dialogue to the vibes. So all in all, a phenomenal time. What a great night out. I'm super glad Rachel was my buddy on this one, because I know you have your D&D background there and you're passionate about it. Like tipping the hat to all of the elements. I can't get over too the live music and the lighting choices.
Yeah.
Everyone was just waiting with their fingers to be like, I guess this song will do this now, or I'll pop this light on stage now. Like it just, like every practitioner in that room was in the same world.
Yeah.
I appreciated.
I'd be interested to come when they do this again, because they have to do this again. I'd be interested to see it from the start and see how it grows, because that kind of chemistry you really do have to cultivate, especially when you're trying to figure out what who those characters are and what their relationships are and all that stuff. It's acting.
Yeah,
it's acting. But it's like, I love too that it does feel like an adult medium, but it gives permission for adults to play again.
Yes.
And it's just, I want that so much for
1,000%.
people. I want that so much.
We need it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And being an NPC would be so fun for something like this too.
Yeah. I'm like, tell me what I'm about to do, but I will say silly things.
Amen. Totally. Okay, great. I think we can leave it there, because if folks want to be in the room where it happened, you have the opportunity. Like I said, this campaign has been running all year. There's installments once a month, continuing September, October, November, December. There's links to tickets on all of those episode dates. I'll pop all the info below in the episode description. And treat yourself. Also, shout out to Comedy Bar Danforth for having the QR codes where you can order drinks and food throughout the entire experience. I had a poutine and a blushing Shirley, which was a mocktail. The poutine slapped. It was like this mushroom gravy. It was everything. It was like I needed the ambiance of being in like a tavern with my little fruity beverage.
Yeah, I used to work there. I worked there for a hot minute. The loveliest people ever. I just was too far for my commute, so I had to move on. But I love that place, and the pizza's amazing, and the wings I had tonight were
so good.
They make magic. They make magic.
Yeah, they do, and then added to the experience, it really was like dinner and a show for us. So
yeah, but it wasn't dinner theater.
It was not.
There was a joke about have that. A drink, eat some food. Watch some funny shows. Yeah. Totally. I will definitely be going back to comedy. I would definitely go and see that show again for sure.
Yeah, let's do it. You might see us there. Okay. Yep. So at this point, like I said, we'll put all the information about the show down below. And Rachel, thanks again so much for doing this with me. You're going to be on more episodes because we love you.
It's a good time.
Use this time to plug yourself, Rachel Fisher. Do you have any handles, any upcoming projects?
Not yet, but hopefully. I am doing, you can always see what I'm up to at my Instagram. So my Instagram handle is RayFisher411. That's RAEFISHER 411. And you can always see what I'm up to. I'm currently hopping on the sourdough trend. I'm just trying to make bread. I'm trying to make bread so I can make dough, guys.
Listen, that's such a fun fall activity to embark on too.
It really is. It really is. Yeah.
Amazing. And people can find and follow me at my artist Instagram account, Jillian.Robinson96. Again, keep up with any antics or projects I have down the line. I have some personal projects I want to get started on. I'd love to direct some more. I'd love to write So keep your eyes open and your ears peeled.
I will be streaming on Twitch come the fall, so you can also look forward to that. And you can watch me. If you liked me talking about D&D, then you will like me talking about and freaking out to scary video games.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Oh,
yeah. I'm gonna try and do. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna try and play a Dark Urge run through of Baldur's Gate 3. Because it's just really hard to be evil for me, which is such a stupid thing to say. Stupid.
I love it
because it should be fun, but I'm like, no, don't kill the people. Anyways, so if that sounds interesting to you, come on over. But that's it. That's all I'm going to say about myself. Thank you.
No, and also Rachel is a huge like fantasy novel fan and like love like a lot of What were you gonna about?
You can watch A Knight's War whenever you want. It's on Amazon Prime.
That's
a fantasy film that I'm in. Yes, there you
go.
Yes.
Good plug. Watch A
Knight's War.
Yes.
Studios. They're really great. They're Canadian, and they made this really wicked looking high fantasy film called A Knight's War that was number 4 in the US, which is crazy. And that I'm in. I play Lilith. And please support them so we can make fantasy films like that. We made something that looks like $1 million on $100,000 budget. So please.
Obsessed.
Please,
look at that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yay.
Ask me to plug myself and I'll keep forgetting and then I'll add something at the end. Okay,
nice.
That's it.
And obviously if you're listening or watching, we are Cup of Hemlock Theatre. We are COH Theatre. We are on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. Come in the comments if you'd like. And it is just the start of the theatrical season. We're embarking on the fall reopening of normal theater season. So there's lots of content, lots of show going in the future for the Cup. And many interviews. We've kind of got a good selection of things happening right now, which we're very grateful for. So stay with us here at the Cup. Let's grab our hearty gauntlets and put a pin in this installment of the Cup campaign. If every episode was a D&D here at the Cup. And support the arts, support comedy, support improv, support new works, support nerds. That's a good place to end.
Hey, Jillian.
Yeah?
You're a critical hit in my eyes.
Oh, gosh. What? I'm a full 20. Right?
Yeah.
That's a critical.
A nat 20. A nat 20. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, thanks, folks. We'll see you next time on The Cup.